Hi there, Kim here. Hope you're doing really fantastically well, and we're having lovely weather, which is awesome. I just fixed my camera. Basically, I want to do bell sleeves, medieval style. And I've seen online people are doing a historical way of doing things, right? But I'm not doing it that way. I want to do an adjustable sleeve where you can take it off, wear it with whatever outfit that you want, have it up at the arm up here or down at your elbow. And I'm going to use, wait for it, elastic, just to grip it up here. And I'll show you my design. This is it here. So basically, this is a top that I already have, right? And the skirt. Maybe put it there so you can see it better. And the sleeve is the bell sleeve, but it's going to be opened here so that I just want to see the arm. Some people close this seam, but I want to keep it open, so we're having it this shape. So this will be like a rectangle shape of the cloth, and we're going to curve it here and put the lace around the edge, but I don't want to put the lace here on this seam. Just I want to keep it open, and I think it's too bulky anyway. So this is what it's going to be like, I hope. Okay, so I'll show you the material right now. So it's like a lovely paisley type design. I think it's really pretty, so I can't wait to get using this. And this is the lace. This is the lace here, so I'm going to put it on the edge around the bell shape, so I can't wait to do that. So I hope you come with me on this journey doing bell sleeves. I used to do stitching and that there when I was younger, and I worked as a sample cutter, so I'm not going to use a pattern for this. I'm just going to cut it out and see how we get on. Oh, by the way, I'll be doing it by hand because my machine is ancient and it probably doesn't work anymore. So come with me and see what happens. So this is a design here. So this is my top that I already have, and I want to add these bell sleeves and use the elastic around here, and then the cap sleeve of the top can maybe fit over it, or you can put it at your elbow if you want, just depends on your idea. And just a gypsy skirt type of thing. And then this is a cloak, and I might do a cloak later on, but I'll see, with maybe some sort of Celtic design. I haven't really worked out what that's going to be yet. And maybe a velvet might be nice if I can find something like that, because these items, the top and the skirt, are in cotton material. So looking forward to this and see what it's like. So I'm in the kitchen right now because I need the table to cut out the fabric, obviously, right? So this is our metre long fabric. I'm going to have to fold it in half, if I can fold it, right? Fold it in half and then cut it so that this is for, you know, you've got your two sleeves, right? So when, I'm not cutting it just now because I reckon we need a cup of tea. All this work, right? So say, just having a look at this roughly, see if I can get it. Right, say that's it, right? Fold it in half. And this is going to be the length of our arm. And it's good and long. It's past my knee, and I'm just over 5 foot. So if you want it longer for yourself, just buy more fabric. But I think that'll be long enough for me. So this part here then will be curved, like I say, and we'll put some elastic. This will be cut straight, so we'll put elastic around here. So I hope that makes sense. So right now I need a cup of tea. Just need tea right now. Oh, I can't wait. I forgot to mention, I'm going to have to clear the table in order to put the cloth on. Probably already said that. Anyway, tea time. Having a well-earned cup of tea right now. It's just a sneaky little cuppa. We all need one now and again. Hi there. Right, we're going to do our sleeves. I've folded the material in half because we're using 1 metre of material and I want to have half for one sleeve, half for the other. So we're putting it to the grain. I've just done it there now. I don't want to film that, me folding the fabric. So I've just folded the fabric at the grain and we're now going to cut it along here. These scissors are blunt. Use these ones, see if they'll work. It's quite hard to cut actually. Right, we've got our 2 pieces of fabric, right? This is a smaller piece because the reason why it's smaller because it's not cut straight, so it's just the way it is. So I'm using a smaller one, just put that there for now. Doesn't matter what side you've got the right side in or out the pretty side, if you know what I mean. Doesn't matter right now. So we're folding it at the grain, so it's pretty much near the length of my arm. And the reason why we're folding it at the grain is because little more to sew, if you know what I mean. We'll be cutting it straight across here at this corner and rounding it off. So keep it at the grain, and I want to put the grain at the top of the table. That's pretty much square, okay. And I'm going to use pins to round off this sleeve. Hello there. I'm going to use pins. Going to use pins to round off the sleeve, okay. And you can use chalk if you want, but I don't want to mark the fabric. Use blue chalk or green chalk, something that will show up. And but like I say, don't want to be marking the fabric after it being so nice. So I'm just going to use pins. I'm just pouring some pins out here. Got some needles there, so it's handy. So pins. So just check my edges. So I want to keep the edge straight here, and then start to round it up, and it'll give that nice flow effect. So I'm just going to pin it in place. Putting sort of 3 pins along, and I'll do 3 pins up here as well. Now I'll start, they're sort of like 2 inches apart. and then I'll start to curve it. So I'm starting to curve it now. What I'll do is I'm going to just dot the pins along. And you can see what I'm doing then. And like I say, the reason why I'm not using the chalk is because it's only going to mark it too much. And we're using the pins as a guide as to where we're curving it. You can always adjust the pins before you start cutting out the fabric. So see how I get on here. Right. So I'm showing you these pins. This is our curve going on. So it gives you an idea of the way it's going to curve. See that? You can do the curve whatever way you want, so it's just to give you an idea. Now, time to cut the fabric. This fabric is very hard to cut. I'm going to turn it, give me an angle. So what we're going to do now is get the other piece of fabric, fold it in half, lay this one on top, use that as our guideline so that both sleeves will be the same, and should have no problems then that way. So I'll crack on with that. Just pin it down now. So that's a pin down. I'm going to start cutting it round now, and that'll be the two sleeves sorted. I'm going to just turn it so I can have a good go at these scissors. Right, so I'm keeping the two sleeves pinned together because I'm going to straighten this corner, and I'll show you what I mean, because I want to put some elastic around for either the top of the arm or the elbow. So both should be about the same. Just have it a little bit tight. Leave a bit of area for your seam, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this is our elastic, right? And we just want to get a bit round here to see how much we need. So I want it right under my arm here, and I'm just going to tighten it a bit. So that's a good bit, and it's tight enough, not too tight. So I'm going to mark it here for myself. and cut it. So this is going to be what we need for the top of the sleeve, so we can join it together. So this is the grain where it's going to be an open seam. This is our curved seam around here, and this is what we need to get the arm in. So I'm putting it at a straight angle here, and I just want a bit of a seam allowance. Well, we need to gather the sleeve a little bit, so the reason why I'm keeping the sleeves together is so that I can just cut this all at once and not have to worry about it. So I'm just going to put a couple of pins here to keep them in the same place. And you can do this as accurate as you like or whatever. I'm just doing it roughly. I filmed the whole section there and my camera just stopped working. There wasn't enough space, so it is time.
From the ashes a fire shall be woken, a light from the shadow shall spring, renewed shall be blade that was broken.
We've cut our elastic for around our arm, and now we're going to get our allowance on the fabric here at the grain. So basically I want a bit of gathering here, not too much, and a bit of seam allowance. So I might do it just here, and it's like at an angle, so it's straight as possible. So I'll just do some pinning. So I hope you can see that. I've just put pins along here. This is our allowance for a bit of gathering and a bit of a seam. So it'll be up to there actually. So we've got some gathering and a bit of a seam, so I'm going to cut this now. I might have to do separately here, we'll see. Material's quite thick. It's very stretchy material, this. So that's the two seams done. So this will be going round your arm. This will be going round your arm this way. And you'll have the seams open. And they'll hang lovely. Can't wait for this. Hold on. So that's the shape there. So now we're going to hem the curve. It turns out that when you do it straight, you could do a curve if you wanted to. It's like a box shape, but we can always curve it out more if we want to, whatever. We'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to lay it flat as much as possible and start hemming. I need to do a double roll, if you know what I mean. So roll it up about half a centimetre and then again. And put a pin in. There, we're back again. I'm going to show you the sleeves of where we are at the minute. So like I said before, we're doing the hem, right? So this is the hem with all our pins. So I've just made a start, but I'll show you where we are at the minute. So this is that weird shape. Do you remember I was saying? I thought I would have had to curve it, but we don't. Because when it goes together, this straight part here, where it drapes, and this straight part is going around your sleeve or around your elbow, depending where you want to have your sleeve designs, okay? And this is the curve. So this is your straight seam at the base, and that's the open seam that we're going to have. Some people will close that off, but we're keeping it open. And this is your curve here. I was wanting to use as much of the fabric as possible, right? So this straight seam goes around the arm. So I'm putting like a waistband on here, if you know what I mean, like an edging, using the same fabric, and see how we get on. So let's sew the hem. I can't believe I'm doing a hem all by hand. The reason why I'm sewing by hand is because my machine is ancient and probably would break down anyway, and the fabric's quite delicate, so that's the reason. The other reason is I don't want a raw edge, so we want this edge to be, you know, tidy, and then we're going to put our lace over the top here, so this is why we're hemming. So I'll show you the hem just now. I hope you're able to see this and see what I'm doing. I'll probably, you know, zoom in at this point. But to do a running stitch, all you need to do is go in and under and pull the thread through. And that's your running stitch. And as you go along, you can fix your pins. So if the pins aren't in the right position, for example, you know, you've maybe got some of your hem that's a bit deeper in other spots, you can thin them down by rearranging your pins. So you can do that as you go along. So we'll just keep going with this. It takes a lot of hours. The last time I did the other sleeve, I wrecked my neck. So I had to take a few days off. Put the ice packs on the neck. Ice packs are good for backs, necks, knees, elbows, thigh muscles. Fantastic. So we'll just keep down and over. So down, down, and then through. So once we get the hem finished, I'll be attaching the lace, and that really finishes off the sleeve, so it looks really pretty, very romantic. And like I say, you can wear the sleeve up at the shoulder, near your shoulder, or down at your elbow, so it's very versatile. Or you can add it in a dress. If you've got that type of dress, you know, the medieval style dress, you can maybe put that sleeve underneath, and that'd be a nice addition for like a lining as well, you know, as part of another dress. Or try multiple, you know, multiple sleeves, gold over this, under it, whatever you want. So I would do this again, you know, because you can add it to any dress you've got, any skirt, any top, you know, for any occasion too as well, for dressing up for videos or for reenactments or just for fun, for Halloween, that sort of thing. So I'll continue on with my edges here and do this hem, and then like I say, we'll put on the nice edging, the lace edging. So can't wait to get it all finished and let you see it. Thank you. See you next time. Hey there, so what we've done is we have attached our lace to our sleeve, right? So there is the pins, and I've made a start, okay? And it's like a double back stitch, and I'll show you that in a second. Everybody's doing their garden today, so there's a lot of noise with machines, so I'll carry on anyway. I've waited all day to try and do this, thinking they'd finished, but they haven't finished, so just have to carry on. Okay. So far, this is what it's looking like. Yeah, the machine's going on in the background. People's getting their grass cut and things like that, so this is what it's looking like. So it really finishes off the sleeve, and then this part will attach here. So another way that we were talking about the run stitch, you go down and then through. Well, the double back stitch, as I call it, there's probably a name for it. You go down underneath and then come back to where your last stitch ended. So I'm going to show you. Right, so you probably not see the stitches with all this white thread. And of course the machine's getting louder. So it's where we're finished. We come through. And then start where your last stitch ended and come through. Again, your last stitch ended and come through. So it's like a continual, stitch, the way a machine would be, but it's double backed at the back. I don't know if you can see the stitches there because of the fabric. Well, the fabric all blends in with the stitching. So, just fixing this. So, where my last stitch ended, and go underneath. So you're always redoing over where you last left off, but you're going forward as well. So you go back because the thread is underneath, so you're going back over the top and then pushing that through. Hope that makes sense. Of course the machine stops now. So of course the machine stops now, but I'll get my pins sorted out here. And then you're doing this direction. So I hope that makes sense. So this is our sleeve, okay, and we have got all the lace onto it, and this is the seam inside. So what I need to do now is to create like a waistband or edging for this area here. So just get some fabric. So this is our fabric. And I'm just going to measure with some pins where I need to cut to. The birds are out now singing. I'm just going to put this together like here, and we'll do a bit of a seam allowance and an overlap as well. So to here and then here. About there just for an overlap as well. I'll just cut it roughly because it's only for me this, and start this side and just cut it straight as much as possible. I need better scissors I think, but my other scissors are upstairs in the loft, so I'll just use these for now. So it's going to be like a 1/2 inch, so 4 1/2 inches. So now we are going to pin this on the right side of the fabric. So that's up there. Here we are. So that's this funny shape that we've got, this square shape for our arm to go through, and I need some pins. First of all, I need to stitch this down. I want to put this here and do an overlap and stitch it down by about 2 inches, and then the seam is free here. So I'll stitch that down first, and then we'll attach our edging on the right side, and can't wait. Right, so just to explain what's happening now, we've sewed down a 2-inch seam here. This is the open seam here at the base line there, right? We've added on our lace, and then I've made a start on like a waistband type covering on the arm, so it'll house the elastic. Okay, so what I've done is have your sleeve on the right side, the proper side, right? Start pinning your waistband along, right? What I did was do an overlap just as a measure to keep everything tidy so there's no raw edges. So just fold it over, start to pin it across, and I've stitched it all down with that double back stitch. Right, so now we're going to turn it the other way, and it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like that, and that's what it's gonna look like. So then your elastic will go in here, but we need to leave a gap for it, and I'll show you in a minute. So turn your sleeve inside out now. So this is our raw edges, okay? And what we're going to do is start to pin it down, but we need to leave a gap. I'm going to start with a nice open seam at the bias line. You can see what I'm doing here. That's it there. Right, so I've got some pins, and we'll just start to fold it over. So just fold it that way, and then that will cover it. See, so this is what we're going to do. Once all that's done, leave a gap so you can slip in your elastic, so don't forget that. So I'll continue pinning these, and then I'm going to just stitch it like this, but I'm going to catch the inside and also the outer edge as well, because the nature of the fabric, it's very flimsy, very delicate, so I want to catch all the areas, because you can't see the stitch lines anyway because of the nature of the fabric, just to give it more stability. So then, like I say, your elastic will go in through here, but leave a gap here or whatever to thread it through. So right, so this is our open seam, and you'll be putting your arm through this way, and this is our band that we've just created. I've left a space here, so this part here will be fixing down, and we're going to then put in our elastic band, our elastic even, right? So fix your pin to your elastic, and you just start threading it through. Hold on to it, by the way, in case it goes missing on you, and then you have to start again. Yay, we're at the other side. And just took the pin out. So what we need to do is fix our elastic, and I had it about 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to put a pin in from myself here. So what we're going to do is going to stitch that in place and then set the elastic through and fit all this back in. So I'll see you in another little while. We're getting there. So this is our elastic section. As you can see, all sorted, and all sorted on the inside as well. So here we have it finished. Can't believe it's finished. It's taken me days to do one sleeve. That's our bias seam. Do you remember? This is our elastic part to put our arm into. I shall demonstrate. Now this sleeve isn't to go with this top that I'm wearing, but it's to do with a white sort of cotton material. So you can hold it here to see what it's like, you know, and your arm is through this way, and it hangs lovely. I'm really pleased with it, and it's down to my knees. What did I show you? It's down to my knees, so it's lovely. Really pleased with it. I would do this again for another design, another sleeve, you know, in another colour or anything like that. So I just grab it here. So this is what it's like, and it just hangs here, and you can float around. So it'll make more sense with the white top on and the sleeves and the skirt. So a long skirt, this long white skirt that I have here. So a bit more sense, like I say, with the other outfit on and your crown or your jewellery and things like that. So make more sense. But you see what it's like. And the nice lace at the edge. So hope you've enjoyed that. So you can check out the full design with the outfit and all the rest of it, and I hope you enjoyed what you've seen so far, and thank you for watching to see about adjustable sleeves medieval style. So you can use any material you want, chiffon, lace, velvet, satin, anything you want, and do your sleeves too. And I hope you try it out as well. Just use a bit of elastic around the edge with the edging, and put your elastic through the edging, and so you can use it for your elbow, use it at the top, and then if there's a capped sleeve on your blouse, part of your dress or whatever, you know, that will cover all the elastic and things like that, and it'll just be nice and flowing looking. So, and if you wanted to, on that seam, the open seam, you could put buttons there to close them over, or you could just close it over if you wanted to, just stitch that down. Some people stitch it round the back way, but you could maybe use a button design so it's slightly opened to the button, and you could do it that way as well. It's more of a Grecian, Roman type style. So thank you for watching, and check out what it looks like. are my sleeves that I made. Do you remember? With my outfit, crown, and my necklace. So, the skirt and everything, but I'll show you that in a second. And that's the lace that I added. So, it's turned out better than I thought it would. And I'm really surprised at the shape. And I used all of the fabric.